with that 4v5 clash. And
So I think,
that just resulted in them winning the game 1.
Okay, so let's proceed sa ating Viking phase na after ng ating first game. Mababawi nga ba ng team ng Naga? If I'm not mistaken, sila yung natalo ng first game, right?
Wargods.
Wargods ang natalo. So, kung makakuha nga ba ng Wargods ang second game na ito, I think between Wargods and Naga Esports, alam natin lahat na mas matagal na, mas maraming experience itong Gamex.Wargods in terms of the competitive scene compared to the Naga Esports. So, medyo fresh pa itong Naga Esports. Actually, this is the first season na kasama sila sa ating pro gaming series. So, hindi ko naman pwedeng sabihin na hindi aware ang Gamex.Wargods. So, possible na maging strategy ng team ng Naga Esports dito since this is almost halos malapit na matapos ng ating season. So, we'll see what might happen dito sa laban between the Gamex.Wargods and the Naga Esports. This is their second game.
Yes. Also, Wargods now batting out the Nidalee against Nexta. But when you bat out the Nidalee, he still has one trick up his sleeves, and that is these jungle Sejuani. And hover over the Tostado and will most likely be their pick. And yes, they do lock that in, and so it will be a jungle Sejuani and ADR. Yes.
So I think Tristana AD carry is one of the most, I think, parang hindi siya ganun ka, pinofocus ngayon.
Okay.
Kasi hindi siya usually pinipick ng mga AD carries because bago lang yan or it's impossible to carry a game with a Tristana ngayon. But actually, a Tristana right now is a very powerful AD carry, especially yung kanyang pushing potential with the explosive charge that she can use in the turret. Kapag tumagal, kapag ginamit niya ito at na-charge yung kanyang normal hit with that turret, malaking damage niya na mabibigay dun sa turret na yun. So compared to the other champion na makakapag-push, being the AD carry role, mas mabilis mag-push si Tristana dito. And yes, I think attack speed is more efficient for this champion instead of going for a more focus sa kanyang damage. But still, being the AD carry champion, supposedly dapat meron ka talagang damage dito.
Yes, very true. And now, to recap onto the picks, Naga does get in again the support Janna for themselves. So, hindi nagbago ang kanilang duo bot lane. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And yun ang gagawin nila. As for the top lane, Sentier did go in game 1 for the Maokai, but Wargods snatched that away from him, and he will get the top lane rumble for himself. And actually, Ochi gets a mid lane LeBlanc.
I think mid lane na LeBlanc to. So,
nakalusot siya.
LeBlanc mid lane against possible, sino ba maging AD carry ng Naga Esports, no? But I think against a champion like si LeBlanc, we usually use a champion na merong that could survive the damage output coming from the champion, especially if kanyang burst damage. You can use a Cho'Gath in the mid lane against a LeBlanc, or a champion like usually against a LeBlanc, ginagamit dito. Wow, Yasuo. And I think in terms of the summoner spell, instead of going for an ignite, you can get an Exhaust or a barrier. Well, it depends sa kanyang playstyle dito, but yes, it's the final, mga kaibigan. LeBlanc in the mid lane for Ochi against Yasuo in the mid lane para naman kay Agito.
Also, I think this is my first time to see a Jinx used in the PGS.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, BYY getting that Jinx for himself. So also skill with the Lee Sin jungle. First time ko siya makikita ngayon na mag-Lee Sin jungle. I mean, in a very long time.
Actually, I think before ginagamit ito ni skill, pero hindi siya ganun kaya anong tawag yun, parang accurate sa kanyang playstyle dito, or talagang nakakatulong sa kanila as a team with the use of Lee Sin. Usually use a champion as si Jarvan, or yung mga champion na hindi ganun kahirap in terms of the mechanics. But right now, gagamitin ito ni skill since they have a Maokai that can lock up a champion when ginamit yung kanyang W, and they have Morgana na kapag tumama yung kanyang Dark Binding. Siyempre, the bottom lane in terms of the harass that they can give dito, lamang sila against Tristana and Janna because they have the Dark Binding, they have the Spell Shield, and they have the trap coming from Jinx dito.
Yes, also, I just want to talk about this mid lane matchups. Ochi will be the mid lane LeBlanc, and Agato, again, will get his Yasuo mid lane. Ang nangyayari kasi dito is, if you watch Faker play his LeBlanc, doesn't actually use that Q of his, hindi na minamax agad yun. Ang minamax niya is the distortion, which is the W. Kasi ang nangyayari kasi
dito, I think efficient naman talaga.
Efficient kasi ang nangyayari dito is faster cooldowns at max rank, and of course AoE damage with the mobility.
Dead clear.
And nakaka-bypass siya sa wind wall ni Yasuo, which would actually give Ochi enough time to output his damage. Kaya may wind wall and then distortion in, use his ethereal chains with the Q, and then possibly out harass Agato in lane.
Yes. So in terms of how Ochi will play in the mid lane dito, no, it all depends on how he will try to dominate itong si Yasuo in the mid lane or itong si Agito. But I think in the mid lane, yes, I'm pretty sure that the best way for Ochi to win the mid lane against the Yasuo is to max yung kanyang distortion, and of course, give enough harassment against dito kay Yasuo, kasi alam natin lahat na itong si Ochi na mid lane talagang ang playstyle niya ay sobrang aggressive. So LeBlanc champion very I think it fits him very well. For top lane naman we have JLC against Sentier. So we have Rumble versus Maokai. What can you say about this matchup sa top lane?
Well, let's say parang harass wise, it's parang lang sila, they're just there in the top lane to farm. Rather than, for example, si JLC nakakuha ng Irelia, he would go in onto Sentier, but early on, mananalo ang Rumble in terms of damage output against JLC ngayon with the Maokai. But level 6, if JLC dodges out the equalizer ni Sentier, doesn't take a lot of damage from it, can actually win if he uses his Vengeful Maelstrom correctly. But we can see, kasi ang first build ng isang top lane Rumble will be either Gladys Torment, which actually burns HP, and JLC possibly again with the Righteous Glory or Rod of Ages.
I think when it comes to the top lane Maokai dito, usually ang talaga pinapriority nila na item ay syempre yung Rod of Ages. But Righteous Glory is
yung second
I think
best.
Possible na maging item din niya dito sa Rumble. But Rumble is champion na AP. So after siguro ng mga items na yon, dapat kumuha siya ng kanyang Spirit Visage to to survive the top lane dito. But like what you've said, Leandris Torment dito for Rumble the top lane will surely penetrate the magic resist na meron si Maokai later on.
Yes, very true. And before we get into the game, we will be back after a short break.
Parasite the Maxim. Watch it the same day as Japan. Thursdays at 11 p.m. on Animax.
And we are back. Again, this is the Pro Gaming Series 2015 Spring Season Week 11. This is Game 2 in the Best of 2 series. Gamex.Wargods versus Naga Esports. Naga did win Game 1. If they win this game, they will be, like Sir Reg said before, 10 points and they will take second place in the PGS.
So here it is mga kaibigan. First initiation coming from the Gamex.Wargods dito. They're trying to well, this is very interesting play coming from the Wargods, no? We don't usually see na nagkakaroon ng early invade, especially level 1 invade dito. But right now, Gamex.Wargods trying to stop the other members of Naga dito na mag-set na kanilang pwesto. But Naga Esports trying to counter this strategy na ginagawa ngayon ng Gamex.Wargods. They are patiently waiting dun sa may blue buff
Ooh.
ng Gamex.Wargods.
Actually, I want to point out what JLC is doing right now. Most Maokai top laners will put 2 to 3 saplings in the raptor area and kill those 3 or 2 mini raptors to get a little bit of XP to para magkaroon ng level advantage against their opposing top laner. And it works well because he doesn't lose any time going back to his lane because yung saplings, I believe 30 to 45 seconds ang kanilang lifespan and sakto lang yun pag tinime mo properly.
So right now, no, there's a lane swap coming from the members of Gamex.Wargods dito. So they decided to go to the top lane. We have Morgana or to si BY1 and Stronger. While JLC, like what you've said,
actually he's going to get the Raptors na rin. So gusto niya agad mag level 2.
So yeah, after you've cleared the first wave of that minion dito sa jungle natin, talaga mag-level 2 ka. So right now, response coming from the members of Naga Esports dito. So they will go for the top lane as well. Nakita nila kasi nung ward dito coming from the blue buff na meron sila kanina. So they are aware na nasa top lane itong si BYY and Stronger.
Yes, very true. And because of that, nag-teleport na si Sentier. Oh, okay, taking a lot of damage there. And nag-teleport na si Sentier sa bot lane. He didn't continue doing the buddy system with Nexta in the jungle because yung lane swap nila hindi na nangyari.
Yes.
It's still naging duo bot lane and the top lane na lang.
It may be very risky for their team if ever nasabayan nila itong ganitong klase ng lineup na they have the 1 versus 2. Well, we all know na Rumble can't win if he's alone against a full champion. Here comes Dark Binding, makakabigyan from Stronger dito. There, he's being chased down. Ginamit na kanyang spell shield. The heal coming from BYY. Stronger, one more hit. 2 flashes has been burned out by the Naga Esports. And it's a first blood for the Naga in this game.
This is actually one of Nexta's most favorite plays to do. Get 1 buff and then gank immediately right after that. Ang nangyari lang dito, before it was the Nidalee, and with a Nidalee you just need the blue buff to be able to spam out your spells. As for the Sejuani, you just need the headbutt her Q and then yung slow nung red sentinel.
Here comes JLC, mga kaibigan. Initiation to the bottom lane. They're taking a lot of damage. The sapling will slow him down. Wargods still give enough damage for Sentier, yet he managed to get away.
Actually, this is a very nice guy coming in from skill. Sentier did use his teleport to go in onto the bottom area. And if he decides to recall, he will lose in terms of CS and gold advantage. But he still has that Doran's shield to keep him healthy.
In terms of the matchup naman in bottom lane, no, we have JLC versus Sentier. I think we all know na itong si Malphite, or si Maokai, sorry, have the advantage against a Rumble champion. Kasi Rumble is a champion na, well, usually nag-rely sa kanyang range damage, but itong si Maokai kailangan niya makapag-initiate ng mabuti, and once na makalapit na siya using his W or marut niya itong si Rumble, he can dish out enough damage to win against a Rumble. The only way for Rumble to win this game or to win this matchup in the bottom lane is to never back down. Usually yung ginagawa ng mga Rumble natin after silang marut, nagbaback agad sila. Pero hindi nila napapansin na kapag lumaban pa sila using Rumble, mas malaki yung damage na nababawasan nila dito because Rumble is a champion na merong damage over time skill.
Yes. The Flame Spitter.
Yes. So right now in the bottom lane, Sejuani rewarding Nixta. 0-1 score, the early part of the game.
Ooh.
Here comes Nixta initiating here in the team fight in the bottom lane. JLC taking so much damage. Sapling will slow Sentier down. Here comes the safeguard coming from skill dito. Sentier taking a lot of damage. Really go down nga ba? That Q will connect to Sentier. One champion will go down. Mochi trying to respond. The distortion connected as well as his Area chain. And it's 2-for-1 exchange in the bottom lane.
Favor of Wargods. Very nice responder coming in from Ochi to, like you've said, give them a 2-for-1 trade. Just have to give it to Sentier there, moving as fast as he could to dodge the resonating strike of skill so he doesn't get killed immediately with the execute damage of that second activation of his Q.
So Trailblazer para dito kay Nixta in his jungle with Sejuani. Do you think i-change na ito to a Stalker's Blade kapag mabuo na niya yung kanyang level 2 itong jungle item na ito?
I don't think so because
Usually talaga mga Sejuani, no?
yeah, they don't need the extra damage, but here comes an engage onto Ochi.
Dito trying to give it a poke damage for Ochi dito. Ochi taking a lot of damage. Really go lang nga ba managed to get away with that distortion.
Wow.
Kanyang passive skill yung nag-trigger.
Yeah, without that passive, it was changed na if LeBlanc's passive does activate, may envy na siya. If pag hindi nawala yung envy na yun, actually, Agito might have
He might go down, but there's an initiation once again from the team of Naga Esports. Naga, Nixta chasing skill down. Stronger level 4 pa lamang siya dito. Level 5 Nip. Dark Binding connected to Nip dito. They're trying to get the Wolves for the members of Gamex.Wargods dito. So 2-2 score pa rin tayo ngayon. 500 gold difference in favor of the Gamex.Wargods.
You just have to give it to Naga for being so aggressive every time.
Oh my god,
Skill.
very dangerous for Stronger dito. Again, on his spell shield. He was ignited. A flash in coming from Agito. One more hit, and he will go down. Agito has been ignited as well. Here comes the rocket coming from VYY. Agito, one more hit coming from Ochi. A shield from Nip dito to save his comrade. And yet again, Q, a flash in from Ochi. He was ignited, still trying to respond. And yet again, I think Nip will go on one more hit. A jump coming from Tristana dito. Yet again, it was not enough to kill the champion.
Whoa, that invade right there coming in from Nixta and Agito. Yes, too much respond na lang nangyari. And then VYY with the Death Rocket just executes Nixta on the spot.
Very interesting strategy coming from Naga Esports. Now they're trying to do an early pressure for the Gamex.Wargods dito. And I don't think it is somehow gaining a lot of advantage for their team. Gamex.Wargods, JLC, the bottom lane, ginamit kanyang vengeful, Maelstrom. Equalizer coming from Senthier. Dito Stronger trying to respond. Level 4. Still, here in the bottom lane, Senthier will go down. He go down nga ba? He gives damage over time. Yet again, JLC managed to kill him.
Yes. And JLC just stacking his vengeful Maelstrom for maximum damage output. And again, Naga did start off early with this aggression, but then, oh, sorry about that, ano na lang din eh, Wargods with the follow-up aggression.
And I think with the 40 score coming from the members of Gamex.Wargods dito, they can pull off a dragon. But here comes the initiation from Nixta! Nag-flash siya, ginamit ang kanyang ultimate skill. However, a flash out from VYY will save himself. 3 champion!
Very, very nice try there from Nixta. It was a worth exchange there. He only uses flash and ultimate, and his ultimate, the Glacial Prison, does cool down in about 1 minute and 30 seconds, and they were able to burn out VYY's heal and flash. And because of that, possibly a dragon might be the next objective of Naga. Force it in before the summoner spells of VYY does come back up and possibly get a pick out of that.
So 1,300 gold difference in favor of Gamex.Wargods. Right now, I think Gamex.Wargods is surely doing very well in terms of the laning phase here in the early part of the game. And here comes Nixta once again for Ochi. Napagad na pag-knock-up coming from Nixta dito. However, not enough yung kanyang ultimate skill coming from Agito to kill Ochi.
Yes, but again, Ochi, little by little, is getting forced out of his lane. Agito will have more time. Actually, no. They are pushing in this bottom lane. And
here comes Berserk trying to kill skill dito. Tumama pa kay Stronger ang kanyang explosive charge. However, so much damage coming from the members of Naga Esports. Ito 3 champion from the Gamex.Wargods will go down. That monsoon will surely push JLC away, and there's the chance for the members of Naga Esports to get the first dragon of the game.
What a beautiful play coming out of Naga. They forced Ochi to go back even though they didn't get the kill, and then because he recalled, Naga was in a 4v5 situation.
There.
Okay,
Almost.
so yeah, almost there. they were in a 4v5 situation wherein they were the 5 teams present for the clash, and then it was just a numbers advantage, and then again they got the picks onto the members of Wargods, and that was a free dragon for themselves. Ochi didn't have enough damage on his skills, doesn't even have his morale Nomicon up to try and steal a dragon as of right now.
Actually, sobrang mahirap ito for Ochi na ipanalo yung kanyang mid lane.
Yeah, okay.
Especially with the ganks coming from Nixta all the time. Napakagandang performance coming from Nixta dito. Right now, he has 3-2-2 score and they have 6 kills. So, 90% of the kills na meron ng Naga Esports nandun siya. They got the first, not to mention, they got the first dragon of the game because of how they managed to get a triple kill in the bottom lane. 3 champion from the members of Gamex.Wargods. And right now, Gamex.Wargods have to do something about this kind of this situation na sobrang nabibigyan sila ng pressure. And that first dragon alone is a very important dragon of this game.
But even though with those 3 kills, Naga still loses in terms of the gold, around 500. But slowly but surely they are catching up in terms of gold advantage. But they did have that first dragon, which means they have a little bit of a power spike with that. I believe it's 6%.
Yes, especially for Tristana. Look at his item right now. He got the pickaxe and the be absorbed. Same with the Jinx dito. And I think ang pinaka dapat bantayan ng both teams dito ay yung kanilang mga AD carries. We all know na si Jinx is a champion na kapag hindi mo napansin during the clashes, he can surely dish out a lot of damage and can surely kill any champion na harang sa kanya, even if it is Saki champion.
Yes, she is one of those hyper carries in the late game, along with Justana. And while that is happening, top lane wise,
here comes JLC and skill in the top lane, with attempt to kill Sentir. Ginamit kanyang equalizer to save himself, to give enough damage for the top lane. However, not enough for Sentir dito, and he will go down.
And I was right. JLC did get that Righteous Glory for its chase potential. Oh!
Agito. Material chain from Nochi connected to Agito dito mga kaibigan. 2 material chain and that Mega Death Rocket coming from BYY will secure a kill here in the mid lane. However, Nixta is still up. Hindi nag-connect kanyang Ethereal Chain. Almost malapit na sana dito, ngunit hindi tumama. At if ever na yung kanyang Ethereal Chain ay sumabit dito kay Sejuani, could surely at least secure a 2 kill dun sa time na yun.
Yes, and like I said before the game starts, yung strategy ni Ochi to get past Agito's wind wall would be distortion in, Q, E, and then E again for more damage. And he just did that, and then BYY with the execute kill with his Super Mega Death Rock.
Yes, the Super Mega Death Rock. So naging super siya, no? Kasi may super na, the Mega pa. And right now, it's a 6-6 score. And I think 1,000 gold, 2,000 if I'm not mistaken, favor of the Gamex.Wargods, and you're surely gaining the advantage after what happened sa clash na yun.
Yes, but you can see right now, with those kills, makita natin kung saan napupunta yung gold advantage ng Wargods. It's going to BYY and JLC, and this is actually a very, very nice gold advantage for Wargods. Why? It's because BYY is their AD carry. He gets more damage as he gets items, of course, and then JLC is their tanky frontliner, and he is getting fed right now in the top lane against Sentir. Look at that. He has 100 CS compared to Sentir 62, 301 in terms of kills to 133.
Yes.
As for Naga, all of their kills are going to Nixta and Agito. Granted, Nixta will be their frontliner, but we'll see if that is well enough, along with Agito's damage output, if they could win against Naga.
Here comes the initiation once again, coming from the Gamex.Wargods. Ginamit ang kanyang initial reason coming from the members of the Naga Esports dito. The ultimate skill guy from Stronger will connect to Jana or to Neve. However, they're still trying to get this first tier turret, while Jinx or BYY is still in the bottom lane. They will surely get this turret, mga kaibigan, and they're chasing down Sentir. Sentir taking a lot of damage. Nag-connect ang kanyang Ethereal Chain as well as W coming from JLC. Teleport in the mid lane to defend his first tier turret Here comes the first kill guy from Agito and the last breath as well to kill JLC.
Ooh.
JLC, wow, 2 flashes and he will go down. The wind wall will block all the skill and the normal hit coming from BYY. He will go down. What a good juke coming from Berserk here in the jungle. But Skill will surely respond and will give a lot of damage as well. Ochi will respond it and use the distortion as well as his mimic. And Skill will go down. Wow, what a huge counter coming from the members of the Naga dito. And yes, it's 3-4-1 in total in favor of the Naga Esports.
Agito is my hero. His micro in that very sticky situation. Alright, we can see right now that Agito uses his wind wall to try and mitigate most of the damage coming out of VYY. And now it's just a matter of 2 members cleaning up here onto the ADRs. But Wargods, with the pincer move, gets the kill onto Berserk. I thought Agito would have died here, but look at that. He dashes into the back of Ochi to dodge out that chain, and he still gets the kill onto Skill right there, and Nixta is just there to defend his friend. And Agito, really the MVP of that engage right there. Now Dragon is
coming from the Naga Esports, no? I didn't expect na ganun yung mangyayari dito. But actually, like what you've said, it was all because of Agito. That huge play coming from this player is very effective for their team to, well, secure the advantage na meron sila. But the dragon is up, the second dragon of the game is up. And if ever na makuha to ng Gamex.Wargods, I think they can somehow try to get a little bit of difference na mabawi nila dito against the Gamex.Wargods.
And now both teams have one dragon.
Yes, here comes the initiation once again coming from Gamex. Wargods JLC 2 champion got stunned with that initial prison. Berserk will jump in, trying to respond. Stronger will go down with that explosive charge, and it's a double kill for Berserk.
JLC was in no man's land there. He was tanking with, we can see right now with the replay. JLC is tanking a lot of damage already. There's the Glacial Prison coming out of Nixta, and then the Fire and Ice combo from Naga, their favorite actually. And Agito is here for the lockup onto JLC, and VYY was late to the party. He wasn't doing any sort of damage. Ochi tried to put out as much as he can, but that wasn't enough in a short amount of time. And that was just a 1-for-1 trade. Actually, 2 for nothing trade with that explosive charge. Again, like you said,
yes,
the execution damage is amazing.
I think what went wrong for the Gamex.Wargods dito ay medyo napaaga yung pag super mega death racket coming from BYY. And napansin natin na hindi ganoon kalaki yung damage na nabigay niya. And during the last part of the clash, napansin mo na halos ubos na yung HP nila. And here comes JLC and Skill once again trying to kill Center the top lane. But Center managed to disengage. Medyo aware na siya ngayon, no?
Yes.
And I think ginagawa ng Gamex.Wargods ngayon, medyo focus sila ng sobra for JLC to win the laning phase. And they all know how JLC can carry this game kapag nagtagal ang laban na ito.
Yes. Also, Naga with that kill in the mid lane against JLC stabilized the gold advantage that Wargods have. It's now almost the same.
JLC versus needs the 1v1 sa top lane, mga kaibigan. And we have to disengage. The necessary here. And look for the top lane dito. And the pala isang problema dito for Gamex.Wargods. They haven't get the first tier mid lane muna. And here comes the kick coming from Skill dito. And Yasuo will go down. The Zap will connect to Jan as well. And they're getting the second tier in the mid lane without worrying na merong champions dito coming from the Naga Esports. Wow! 4-man stun coming from that Glacial Prison. And Skill managed to get away with that safeguard. Megadeth Rocket will kill Nixta. Sentir is being chased down by the 4 members of Gamex.Wargods. That distortion and mimic coming from Ochi dito will secure another kill. And it's 3-4-9 exchange in favor of Gamex.Wargods.
That was only supposed to be the exchange of the mid tier 1 of Naga against the bot tier 1 of Wargods. But then Agito just got caught out with that chain, and it was just a domino effect. They forced they were able to force in that mid tier 2, and Naga, with a questionable play, they did try to save their mid tier 2, but at what cost? Sentry went in too aggressive, thinking that he could have killed Skill, and VYY with the heal saves their jungler, and that just resulted in the two of them dying with their mid tier 2 going down, and Wargods not even taking any damage from that.
So right now, di ba buo yung spell tips itong si, ano, no? Si Jana or si Nip?
Yes.
And I think it's not, I mean, hindi naman siya ganun ka bad idea since kailangan niya talagang i-focus ng ibang item niya. And I think ang nirarush niya ngayon ay yung kanyang, what do you call this, yung kanyang Crucible.
Yes.
I think since meron na siyang kanyang item dito, and here comes the threat once again for the members of Naga Esports in the top lane. They're trying to defend, but that threat will go down. GLC from the backline, ginamit ang kanyang Vengeful Maelstrom, as well as yung kanyang Righteous Glory. Usually, ginagamit na talaga ngayon ang ating...
But while that is happening, again, this is deja vu. Before, it was Wargods who were split pushing, but now Naga split pushing by themselves with Agito in the bot
interesting
lane.
advantage coming from the members of Gamex.Wargods dito, while Agito is pushing the bot lane alone, while 5 members of the Gamex.Wargods is pushing the top lane. And I think kapag nagpatuloy si Yasuo or si Agito in the bottom lane, this might be very risky for the Naga Esports.
Naga should try and stop the recalls here for the members of Wargods to try and maximize the push potential, but overall, it was a 2-for-1 trade in the towers. Actually, it was a 2-for-2 trade. The bot tier 2 and the top tier 1 of Wargods was destroyed, and then top tier 1 and top tier 2 of Naga was destroyed. Dragon will be up in about 45 seconds, and this might be the point of contention for these two teams because, like we know, again, second buff of Dragon is very important. It gives you that extra damage to the towers for your extra CG capabilities, and this would work very well for Naga in their split push strategy, and it would work well for Wargods with their dive heavy and pick off composition to try and push those towers if they go in for a 5-man push.
Yes, 20 seconds left before the third dragon of the game to spawn, and a good idea coming from the Naga Esports that they are defending this dragon pit for a while now, but we are looking at the Naga Esports ngayon, no? Center still have his teleport to respond in the jungle, I mean the dragon if ever na mag-initiate sila ng teamfight, and up lahat ng skill coming from the Naga Esports. They have the visual prison, the other skills coming from their team. 2 champion got stunned, yet JLC will surely chase them down, but VYY will secure the dragon. The equalizer will give huge damage for the members of Gamex.Wargods dito, and yet again they're still being chased down. GLC used a W for Agito, and yet he will go down. A double kill for Agito and VYY as well. Ochi was the only one na natitira dito, mga kaibigan. Gagawa niya distortion to give enough damage and to kill a champion. Ochi will go down, and it was Agito once again. Wow.
What a beautiful clash there, right? We can see right now, like you've said, there's the equalizer going in onto the entrance of the jungle. Berserk didn't get CC'd well enough, and he just got a lot of auto attacks. And look at Agito, he's just putting a lot of damage into the backline. VYY is getting zoned out by Nixta here, and I just have to give it to Agito for microing.
Yes,
JLC there, he gets out of the Vengeful Maelstrom, times it perfectly actually, but then Ochi with the kill onto Nixta, but Nixta kills Skill right there, and look at that. Berserk will actually die to Ochi here, but still, that was a 2-4-5, but the second dragon did go into the hands of Gamex.Wargods.
Good job for Naga Esports getting a comeback after what happened, and right now they are leading in terms of the goal difference na meron tayo ngayon. And very interesting play once again going from the Naga Esports. Very good job.
Yes, very, very true. And now, I'm seeing only that Wargods has 2 objectives to get. It's the bot tier 2 of Naga or the Baron. If they try to go in onto the inhibitor turrets of Naga, they're asking to lose the game because Naga right now has a very good composition to fight in these tight spaces. They have the Glacial Prison off Nixta, and then if he catches someone, Sentier will immediately put down his equalizer or put it down into a position where Wargods would try to go in. As for Wargods, they need to fight Naga in a pick-off fashion kind of composition. They need to use JLC and Ochi to try and root someone and then immediately burst them down with their damage output. So we'll see what happens as these game progresses, and look what's happening right now. Naga knows what Wargods will try to do, and that is to take the bot tier 2, and like I said, Wargods is trying to take it.
Yes, so right now, Naga Esports, itong si Nip, ay meron ng Crucible, Miguel's Crucible. So like what I've said, he's prioritizing this item to surely avoid the crowd control coming from the Gamex.Wargods dito. So, kasi aware siya that they have at least 4, almost 5, almost all of the members of Gamex.Wargods dito ay merong mga pang-bind, pang-root. They have the Naga as well. So, good idea coming from Nip dito to save his comrade.
Yes.
And I think one problem na meron sila sa team actually for the Gamex.Wargods, one problem for their team, both teams actually, ay wala silang exhaust.
Oh yeah. They're in it to win it.
And very risky to sa mga sport natin ngayon, no? Especially against Ayasubo or Aleblanc. As you can see right now, they're the champions. Talagang nag-dominate sa laban na ito. It's because their opponent don't have enough skill or any summon or spell to reduce the damage coming from their team.
Yes, they can only hope for Naga to use Deep for the heal and the shields. As for Wargods, it's more on the heal coming out of VYY and then the Black Shield if ever to save him from magic damage or initiation coming in from Naga. And right now, it's just these two teams figuring out what to go for. As for Naga, they're just waiting. Again, I guess for the dragon to respawn, it will be up in about a minute and 45 seconds. So we will see what happens after that. As for the Baron, it's actually a very risky objective to get for these two teams because the Baron does deal a lot of damage. There was a change to the Baron before. Actually, right now, 5.3 or 5.2. If the Baron respawns at 20 minutes in, he's weaker than his, let's say, 30-minute self. He gets stronger as the game progresses. So right now he's pretty strong with 28 minutes into the game, and we'll see what these two teams will actually go for. It actually might be this next dragon. It will be up in a minute, but whoa! JLC getting a lot.
Naga will initiate the team by dito using the first skill to give enough damage for JLC. Wow, a huge damage out to Tiger Brochi dito to give enough poke damage against Nixta. However, Nixta managed to get away and they took JLC down. 48 seconds left before this fourth dragon of the game to spawn, and Naga Esports won't waste any time and will push this third tier here in the mid lane.
Yes, and now Wargods are in a precarious position. They have to circle their own base to try and stop Naga, but the damage has been done. It's actually
Gosh, wow! That last breath once again from Agito will secure a kill for their team. Oh my gosh, tumama yung zap for Berserk, a flash in, a safeguard from post skill and a dark binding connected to Berserk. And one champion will go there, still chasing them down. A teleport guy from JLT from the backline will use a double kill for their team. A Zonya has been used by Sentier dito, and they will get the Baron of this game. What a huge turnaround time from Gamex.Wargods.
Yeah, that was such a nice cleanup by Wargods. Naga went in too aggressive, and also that play onto Berserk. Neep used his crucibles way too early. He did manage to get out of the zap of Jinx, but then nagsunod-sunod eh. There was a dark binding, there was the sonic wave into the resonating strike, and then he got executed out of that.
So much turnaround for the members of Gamex.Wargods dito. Napakagandang performance sa kanilang team sa ginagawa nilang pambawi dito. Yet again, Naga Esports still have the chance. Actually, they can surely win this game kapag napatuloy nila yung ganitong klase ng strategy na ginagawa nila. Oh my gosh, two champions got stunned that vision. Here comes the equalizer 4 members of Gamex.Wargods is taking a lot of damage from that. The equalizer, however, JLC will go down, going from Zendir dito, and they will get the 4th dragon of the game. 89 in score. Ochi still behind. Oh my gosh, that Q.
Agito with the plays again. Neep almost died there to the auto attack of the dragon, but wow, the prediction from Agito.
Imagine, nag-invisible siya doon.
And he guessed correctly where Ochi would actually have been. And Wargods did a very good play to try and rotate to the dragon, but I think they should have just backed off and tried to regroup as a team.
It could have been better because they have the Baron na as their objective.
And 2 of their members lost the Baron buff. That is JLC and Ochi. But still, meron pa naman Baron buff yung others, and that could help them push the lanes if ever they decide to in the mid lane, most likely.
Pixel versus Sash is up for Jinx or for VY White. And I think medyo aware din siya sa crowd control na nanggagaling from the Naga Esports, especially from the creation of Crimson. And right now, I will give the credits to Nixta dito because of the effectiveness of his champion, the crowd control that he can surely give during the team fights na nangyari or sa clashes. It was very effective for their team.
This is actually one of the most favorite compositions of Naga. It's the Fire and Ice combo with Nixta being on that Sejuani and Sentir being on his Rumble. But right now, I really have to give it to Agito for stepping up as the mid laner of Naga, getting in those amazing plays and just from those plays, getting kills and objectives.
Just can't imagine na talagang lumalamang siya ngayon against the LeBlanc. Well, I can't say na talagang lumamang siya against the LeBlanc, but during the team fights or the clash na nangyari kanina, it was all because of his
micro.
Yes, the playstyle na ginagawa niya in this game.
Yes.
Kaya nanalo sila sa mga team fight.
Now, the only thing that I can see Wargods trying to get back into this game is to pick off Agito or Ferzerk. They can't force in the clash because right now Naga is let's not say super ahead of the game, rather than they are actually down in gold, but their team fight let's say experience right now or knowledge is greater than compared to Wargods in this game.
Yes, 18-20 score in favor pa rin for the Naga Esports. And we paused the game. I think meron konting technical difficulty from any team sa ating laban.
Yes.
However,
also I just want to point out Stronger with the Morgana first finished that Mikhail's Crucible like Neep. It is because to try and save his teammates from Nixta's engage, but because he did this, Wargods right now doesn't have that AoE type of engage that they want. They have JLC and Ochi for those singular picks with a CC, but that's about it. They need to use Stronger to go in their man mode, possibly get a 3-man, 4-man, even if ever, a 3-man Soul Shackles and Zoes in front of them to try and zone out Naga and possibly get a pick from that. But with this Mikhail Crucible, Wargods needs, I guess, to have a little bit more time to farm up Stronger, let him get his Zoyas first, and then be on the aggressive side after that.
yes, and I think ang problema ngayon ng Gamex.Wargods ay medyo, well, I don't think na talaga nagiging problema siya no, since lamang pa rin sila in terms of the goal difference. Hindi nila magawa ng paraan yung ginagawang performance dito ng Naga Esports na lagi tumatama yung Glacial Prison, laging saktong-sakto yung pag-drop itong si Sentir ng kanyang equalizer. And I think nahihirapan si Stronger na timingan ng mabuti yung kanyang paggamit ng Spell Shield.
Yes.
Which is one of the most important part of, well, being a support role and being Morgana in your team.
Also, there is no form of disengage for Wargods. It's only that Dragon's Rage coming in from skill, but that's about it. As for Naga, they have a lot of disengage. You can use Nixta's Glacial Prison two-way. It can be for engage or disengage, and then there's Ferzerk's Buster Shot. If someone gets in too close, he just ultimates and then pushes them away. As for Neep, same, but with the Monsoon, and he can actually push everyone away.
I think Naga Esports, I mean, I will give a credit talaga kay Nip ngayon, no? He is doing really well, very well sa ginagawa niya na performance ngayon with the support. He's the only one na merong, well, shield, we have the heal, but almost enough to save yung kanyang teammates dito during the team fights na nangyayari. And with those monsoon na ginagamit niya, pushing those opponents na meron sila, I mean, from the Gamex.Wargods dito, talagang malaking pang counter to against the other members of Gamex.Wargods. They have the gap closing ability, we have the Wargods, we have the JLC with the W. So if ever nagamitan niya yung kanyang monsoon, he can just disengage and push them away sa laban na yun.
Yes, very true. But right now the game is 35 minutes in. The goal advantage isn't far off, and it's just starting to get into the late game. Their ADRs have 3 completed damage items right now. Both of them actually have this. Actually, yeah, they have the same Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, and Last Whisper. And with this damage spike, if ever there is a fight to break out, you would have to look into these ADRs to finish off their the other enemy team as the game progresses. But right now, it's still, you have to look into the top laners and jungles and the mid laners to try and do something with their AoE, with their pickups, to give them actually an advantage. Either of these teams needs to do something like that.
So 1 minute left, 1 minute and 15 seconds left before the 5th dragon of the game will spawn. And I think Naga Esports will try to show this mid lane while they are waiting for the dragon to spawn, and they are getting this first, the mid lane inhibitor to give enough pressure for the Gamex.Wargods to defend their base.
Yes.
Imagine that a Q from Magito can give, or I think reduce the bar ng buhay daw si JLC. And it's a huge thing. Malaki yung buhay ngayon ni JLC. 3,900 I think yung kanyang HP na nakita natin kanina.
It's 2,800.
2,784.
784.
With that HP, imagine, plus yung kanyang armor.
259. Yeah.
And I think, good idea coming from their team dito. I mean, sa lineup nila, they have Yasuo. Oh my gosh, they take a change connected to Agito. That wind wall will block the other skill coming from the members of Gamex.Wargods. Dark Binding connected to Nixta. Almost half of his HP will disappear after that poke damage.
Nixta isn't actually a very tanky champion right now. He has been stacking HP, and then there's the Locket of the Artillery for the Magic Resist and the shield, but that's about it. He doesn't have any armor items as of yet. He only has that Warden's Mill, but not a Random Its Omen complete as of yet. Dragon will be taken. Actually, will Naga contest for this?
Here comes the third dragon of the game, coming from the Gamex.Wargods. The Dark Binding coming from Stronger, and a Equalizer as well. However, BYY will take a lot of damage. Ginamit kanya Quicksilver Sash to save himself. Dark Binding connected to Nixta. What a huge counter attack coming from the Gamex.Wargods dito. The Mega Death Rocket coming from BYY won't connect to any champion. Yet again, Nixta will go down. And it's a 2-for-1 exchange. They're still chasing them down. And yes, Gamex.Wargods will kill 2 champions for the Naga Esports.
And that was a very questionable play coming in out of Naga. They forced Agato to get out of his team's safety zone and try to burst Ochi. But Ochi is a LeBlanc. He can dash out of that, and there was still Stronger using his Mikhail's Crucible to heal up Ochi enough so that Agato would have died and Ochi would still live.
Basta pa naging problema na pansin mo, no? Yung
binagsak nila agad equalizer.
Yes, masyado silang naging desperate sa paggamit ng kanilang mga skills dito. And very questionable talaga yung equalizer na yun. Tapos yung nakita mo naman yung, I think, we have the facial prison as well from Nixta na sobrang lalayo ng mga kalaban nila dito. They should have let the Dragon na lang na mapunta from Gamex.Wargods.
Yes, I guess Naga were a little bit too confident of Agato's damage output, and then nag-crumble na lang sila after that.
Actually, they tried to kill BYY as fast as they can But with that Quicksilver Sash and actually the support coming from Morgana dito or from Stronger, he managed to save VYY during that team fight. And I think it's a very good idea for the Gamex.Wargods dito to stall that team fight. Alam mo yun, para pinatagal nila yung laban na yun after they got the Dragon. Even though lamang na yung Naga Esports with the damage that they've taken from that Dragon, ang ganda talaga na ginawa ng Gamex.Wargods.
That's very true. And now, Gamex.Wargods have a 7,000 gold lead along with 3 dragon stacks and then 1 Baron buff. And now they have the pushing power that they need. They have the damage spike that they have from those skills and from that dragon buff itself.
Ito yung parang sa sitwasyon ngayon, no? Ito yung ganito yung playstyle ng TPA eh. Team TPA nung season 2, no?
Yes.
They are more on letting the game flow ng early na medyo nahihirapan sila talaga. And makikita mo na kahit na sobrang pantay nung laban, sobrang match na match, yung gold difference nila hindi nalalamangan ng kalaban. Gamex.Wargods is doing it right now. They have the 7,000 gold difference, still in favor of their team. Even the 2020 score, 6-6 turret destroyed. It's all because I think of the CS na meron sila ngayon. As you can see, we have 348 CS for Jinx against Tristana.
Yes, also, I haven't seen Naga use Berserk throughout the game. I mean, he has been getting some kills, but during these major team clashes, he hasn't been putting any damage onto the squishy target. It's more on putting a lot of damage onto JLC because JLC has been always in the front line, and then that's about it. He actually dies. If Agato dies, he's the next target and he dies right after that. And now, I'm seeing that Berserk needs to reposition better to try and get someone, actually kill someone in these clashes. And I'm not really sure, but the damage output of the reworked Tristana has been nerfed a little bit in the late game. Against a Vi who has 4 damage items completed, it would be difficult for Naga to actually win these clashes right now.
And actually, after nung changes talaga, nung talagang pag-rework dito kay Tristana, hindi na talaga siya ganun ka, well effective being the AD carry role. Pero in terms of the late game pa rin, he is still effective as he is nung dati pa, no? But sa nerf na nangyari sa kanya, sa early game talaga, sobrang mahihirapan siyang mag-survive. But right now, with those items na meron siya, I think he can dish out enough damage. Yun nga lang, like what you've said, in konting position na coming from Berserk dito, ay ang kanyang kailangan to win the upcoming team fight. Yet, Mochi is dishing a lot of damage dito just to poke them down. And that wind wall, napakalaki. Even that big channel research will stop the damage output just to get that turret. However, tinatake na skill ng turret dito. That third turret will go down, inhibitor turret, and they're trying to get the inhibitor of the game. First inhibitor for the Gamex, the Naga Esports.
Naga's trying to find a position for them to have a favorable team fight, but they're not seeing it right now. JLC is just that brick wall that Wargods have right now, that if they try to go into the backline of Wargods, JLC will just be there with his twisted advance to stop anyone in their tracks.
What JLC have to do during the team fight is to stall or to zone out the other carries of the Naga Esports. And here comes the initiation. JLC got stunned with that Mitchell Prison. However, the equalizer will give enough damage dito. Agito will go down with support guy from the members of Naga Esports and from the Gamex.Wargods. And yet again, Stronger is being chased down. Wow, why Nip? He used that flash. However, Berserk will try to kill Morgana, and yes, he managed to get his life. Sentier will try to stop the other members of Gamex.Wargods, and I think they can end this game with a 4-for-1 exchange here in the bottom lane.
That was such a close fight. I really have to give it to Naga for the knock-up. The ultimate coming in from next up was a little bit questionable, but the engage by Agato onto Achi. Achi, I just have to give it to him. He died almost there, one more hit, but barely escapes, and that won the clash for Wargods. Wow!
Very good job for Gamex.Wargods getting a comeback to this game, and congratulations winning the game, second game for tonight's match against the Naga Esports.
Yes, So that was a 1-for-1. So 1.4 Naga, 1.4 War Gods, and you can see right now, I want to see the damage output coming out of VYY.
Well, let's see sa ating graph dito.
Damage dealt to champion, or physical damage. Let's say damage now.
Yeah, let's see total for AP and the physical damage.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow!
30,000.
30,087 mga kaibigan. Hindi biro ang
Dapat
bilang dito sa League of Legends. So 30,000 for VYY alone.
But look at that. As I was saying before, first Zerk didn't have enough positioning in the team fights to be as a effective damage dealer. And look at that. His damage output is only 18,000. And like I've said, yung positioning talaga ni First Zerk yung naging kulang sa kanya. And as the game progresses, naging late game siya, Jinx does, in my opinion now, scales better, and he had a lot of damage output items. And then si JLC took a lot of damage.
So I think nung nakita natin sa bandang late game kanina, no? Yung last touch na yun, while we saw Naga chasing down at BYY, I think ang naging problema doon is hindi niya napansin na wala na siyang teammates, or actually, there are only 3 champions left during that time. So he tried to chase down BYY dito and to at least, well, give enough damage or to disable him. But dahil na spell shieldan nito ni Morgana or ni Stronger kanina, si BYY, he managed to get away, and instead, nabaliktad nila yung laban doon.
Yes, very true. And now, you can see the standings. Gamex.Wargods are still our second placer in the PGS with 10 points, but Naga with the 8 points. A nice try for Naga to try and get those 3 points, possibly getting the second place, but Wargods putting their foot forward and saying, no, we will still retain our position here. And that was Game 2 in this Best of 2 series. Naga Esports showing a very good game against one of the leaders of the PGS, which is Gamex.Wargods. Wow, what a game! Action-packed.
Sobrang na-impress ako sa performance ng Gamex.Wargods as well as syempre ng Naga Esports. Hindi ko inakala na talagang in par na sila, no? And actually, Naga Esports, if they manage to win that game, they will be the second placer of the PGS spring season, which gives me parang talagang interest sa team nila na imagine, this is the first season na nandyan sila, but they are catching up sa mga talagang higher tier na mga teams dito.
Very true. And with Game 2 finishing, Set 1 has been done. This is now the time for the Watch and Win promo. Again, for you guys who don't know out there, it will be 500 RP credited straight to your LOL account. So kung may girlfriend kayo na naglalaro ng LOL,
syempre, Valentine's Day na mga kaibigan. So, here's your chance to win a 500 RP credited straight to your account, gaya na sinabi ni Asuray kanina.
Yes, reminders muna. Of course, kailangan na correct spelling and pronunciations, punctuations nung answer. Of course, edited answers will not be considered. Hindi siya agad, of course, kasi baka sabi mo, para mag-comment ka na ng dot A, tapos edit mo na lang para first commenter ka. So, bawal naman yun, guys, syempre. Alright, so I will give the drum roll and Sir Steph will ask the question.
Ito ba?
Yes, I guess it's this one.
Okay, this question.
Alright, so here we go.
Okay, our second question ba or first question for today?
First question.
First question sa ating Watch and Win in Game 2. So, second game, Gamex.Wargods versus the Naga Esports. In Game 2, how many flashes were used in the first blood? So, habang nangyayari yung first blood na yun, ilang flash yung nagamit ng both teams dito para manalo sa team fight na yun?
Wow, kahit ako hindi ko alam.
Parang
replay gaming na lang dapat para makita yun.
Medyo mahirap tandaan eh, pero nare-recall ko naman kung ilan yung nagamit. Hindi ko lang alam kung ilan yung eksaktong nagamit ng time na yan. Pero good luck sa mga summoners. Sana masagutan ninyo ang aming tanong. Hindi na talaga biro yung mga tanong dito. No? Kaya talaga nanonood ka at focus ka sa ating game. So yes, that is the first question and our first set sa laban nito ngayong gabi.
Yes. Alright, so after this, there will be another, actually, before that, we would like to thank Trippy Customs for our amazing hoodie jackets. Kasi ito yung kanilang logo.
Yes. And then, no?
Yes, very, very true.
Red.
Alright, so set 2 will be a match between Imperium Pro Team Blue and J2 Esports Betrayal.
Wow.
These two teams have been battling it out to get to 4th place. I believe, if we could check the standings again. Yes, there we go. Both these two teams have 3 points apiece and are 4th place actually in the rankings. So if either team gets a 2-0, they will jump up to 6 points.
Pero kung nag-1-1 sila dito,
4 points na sila parehas.
4
So,
points sila pares.
stuck pa rin sila sa 4th place. So, dapat talaga hahanapin nila dito is yung 2-0 rather than the 1-for-1 trade. Alright guys, so we will be back after a short break to give you set 2 again. I am GS Asterai with an I, and alongside here with me is
GG Spear.
and we will be right back.